Yeah, it's been a while. Honestly, this is mostly my fault that it takes forever for me to finish this since I got very burnt out on a lot of things, but hey, I'm back. And oh boy, do we have a big one today.
Congratulations!
So the major superhero teams on both Marvel and DC have changeable rosters a lot of the time. A character can be allowed to leave and do their own thing most of the time, and this usually doesn't affect the team's image. Like an example in an Avengers book, for an arc Hawkeye's there, and then for another arc he's gone. Due to the large amount of team members these teams have, replacing one character usually brings in another, and the team feels mostly the same. This goes for most superhero teams, the Avengers, Justice League, Defenders, Teen Titans, and the X-Men. However, there is one team that can't really do this, and that's the Fantastic Four. Since they are basically a family of superheroes, and it's such a tight team with a few exceptions, only having these four members through its history. When one is removed, it feels weird. That's a big reason I didn't find the new Fantastic Four that interesting, since the team didn't feel right. Removing Human Torch made the team not full, and Herbie can never fill a role that big. However, the new Fantastic Four didn't have one character, and just replaced him. What do you get when you remove three of the main characters and replace them with a bitch, some rich guy, and a little girl? You get the Thing cartoon, made by Hanna-Barbera. The Thing is a very loose adaptation of the story of Benjamin Grimm, aka The Thing. Now, I knew very little about the Thing cartoon. I only knew about the show through a very outdated history Marvel book I got for Christmas last year. No, seriously, this thing is super outdated. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man film just came out. It talks about how the Daredevil movie just went to production. Yes, the Daredevil movie. From what I read about it, I was very confused, and it stuck in my head for a long time. In some ways, my curiosity for this cartoon led me to want to watch older Marvel cartoons, leading me to this series. So the Thing can be blamed for this whole series. So why was I so confused on the Thing cartoon? One would think that it will be like most Marvel cartoons, with a villain of the week, and no. The Thing isn't even really a superhero show. It's about a superhero, yes, but it's, I can't believe I'm saying this, slice of life? Now, a slice of life superhero show could work if done right, but the Thing doesn't really do anything right. Okay, so the premise. Benji Grimm is an awkward teenager. He hangs out with the beautiful Betty, her boyfriend Ronald, who is rich and is kind of a dick, and lastly, Betty's sister, Kelly. The Thing doesn't fight monsters. He mostly gets into Scooby-Doo mysteries. He usually uses his powers to stop hijinks of the neighborhood bullies, the Yancey Street Gang. So, yes, that's not something straight out of a Stan Lee comic. And I said that Stan Lee's stories can be kind of cheesy, but, no. God, no. People always say how Batman's portrayal in movies, like Batman Robin and Batman vs. Superman, is a killing of a character. Those people obviously haven't seen this show. At least those movies are actually comic book movies. This feels like you just slapped a popular comic book character just so their Scooby-Doo ripoff could work. And yes, this is from the same company that made Scooby-Doo. How do you fail at ripping off yourself? Also, if you're wondering, how does a teenage Benji, transform into the Thing? With two rings, which he bumps together and says a stupid thing.
Ding ring, do your thing!
To fully explain what's so bad with this show, let's just watch episode 1. I know with this series I usually don't dive into episodes, but to fully explain why this is so bad, you need to watch the first episode of the show. Keep in mind that this is the first episode of the show. This is what greets you when first watching The Thing if you're going in order.
Wow, what a beautiful day for a picnic. I'll say.
But parking isn't going to be any picnic. I hope we can find a spot. Yes? who?
Who else? It's Mr. Wonderful Ronald Radford.
I think there are some parking spaces ahead, Betty.
Uh-huh. And Ronald parked in all of them. Just because he's so rich, he thinks he can do anything.
Excuse me. I'll be right back.
Well, this is a swell time to leave.
That face Kelly made describes my reaction the first time I saw this. I literally sent the episode to a friend of mine just to make sure I hadn't gone crazy. Okay, moving on. Thing transforms and spins Ronald around in his car, which by the way has his stupid initials on the thing. I mean, who the fuck does that? Anyways, Thing moves the cars around, then transforms back, and then we see how awkward this cartoon's conversations are.
I see you found a parking space after all.
No thanks to you.
Come on. Let's join the fun.
That's a good idea. Let's go.
Yeah, that was awkward.
Hey, Spike, when we gonna do something and have some fun?
Right. I'm falling asleep just cruising around.
Oh yeah, these guys. This is the Yancey Street Gang, the bad guys of this show. Yes, those were our bad guys, some dickwads on motorcycles. They aren't interesting, so moving on.
Well, hi, Betty. Are you here by yourself?
I might as well be.
How dumb are you? You fucking came with her. You were in the car having a conversation with her.
Ronald's out there playing with his latest toy, a jet ski. Benji Grimm, you klutz.
I'm really sorry, Betty. It wasn't my fault. It was...
Don't panic, old buddy.
Wait, pause. What is that thing? That's not a jet ski. Did the animators not know what a jet ski was, so they just thought it was a ski with a motor? Oh my. And also, look at this amazing editing. What is that?
Benji, look out!
Gangway squares, we're here to jazz up this bash.
Those guys shouldn't fool around on bikes. They could really get fouled up.
How white is everyone in this show? And I know the irony of me saying that. I'm a white guy ranting about a Marvel cartoon from the late 70s, but still.
Are you kidding? Nope, I wasn't kidding.
Bullshit. Bull fucking shit, dude. No.
Just wait till the students try my banana cream pie. Oh, I can hardly wait to try it myself. Oh!
What is your face? Why is everyone's face so bad in this? And who are you?
Benjamin Grimm, well, I might have known.
Oh, hi, Miss Twilly. What happened?
As if you didn't know. I'll see me in your office tomorrow, young man.
What is this show? Why does everyone hate Benji? You got him with a jet ski, gets blamed for everything. Might as well frame him for murder while we're at it.
Hey, I'm getting hungry.
Me too. Hey, that gives me an idea. Let's grab their food and we'll have our own picnic.
Yeah, but how?
Dumbo, we gotta distract them.
I know I've talked about how bad the faces are, but this one, oh my god, it doesn't help that his mouth looks like he's about to fly off his face. So Ronald and Flyface are gonna race, and they cut the brakes or something. So why are they doing this? They're hungry. Villains of the year, everyone.
Benji, listen. He's gonna notice.
The gas sticks? No brakes? Oh, Ronald's in big trouble.
Oh my god, Kelly was Navi the whole time. This makes Ocarina of Time make so much more sense. So Kelly and Benji are going to save Ronald, but instead of stopping the bike, they just remove obstacles from the race. And it's not like it's small or anything. Thing goes through a hill and picks up a bridge and moves the bridge to the other side of the river. He wasn't even going to hit that. So Ronald wins, and Playface says something, and then Donald is rude.
Well, Benji, aren't you going to congratulate me?
Sure.
Just goes to show that superior skill and intelligence will do it every time. Don't you agree?
The Yancey Street gang's taking all our food. The picnic will be ruined.
Oh,
Delicious, Miss Twilly.
what? Oh, thank you. It's a very simple recipe, really. The secret is fresh bananas, don't you know? What am I doing? Well, I never speak to strange oranges. I mean rocks. Whatever that was.
You're the principal of a high school. How are you that dumb? Thing then does something with their bikes, and then the episode ends. And that was an episode of The Thing. What did we learn today? Jack shit. This episode raised so many questions that made no sense. And this is just the first episode. And get this, I was so dumbfounded by this. I needed to know the backstory. How did this happen? I needed closure. So I watched and watched until I got a damn explanation. And I got one after 13 episodes. Yes, the show does this whole shit for 13 episodes till it finally explains something in the episode To Thing or Not the Thing. We find out that Ben Grimm was part of an experiment with Kelly and Betty's father. The experiment went wrong, and Ben Grimm became a teenager, and he has these rings that makes the rocks come to him. That's literally all they got, and that's only a few minutes, and that's them just talking. The rest of the episode just takes place at a ski ranch. Why? That explains nothing. So I sat through 13 episodes for literally nothing. So can I recommend The Thing? No. Not for Marvel fans, not for comic book fans, not for fans of stuff like this. If you want a show like this, just watch Scooby-Doo. I can only recommend this to people to watch one episode for a good laugh. Since I spoiled the first one, there is episode 1B that I can recommend for a good laugh called Bigfoot Meets the Thing. And yes, it's as dumb as it sounds. This hands down is the lowest on the rankings. Literally watch anything else. Hopefully the next cartoon's better. Next up is Spider-Woman. Interesting pick for the time period, late 70s and early 80s. You wouldn't really expect something like Spider-Woman to get a cartoon then. But anyways, see you all next time for that.